Right, you lot, let's talk Villa. Yes, so after Tottenham gave Aston Villa a perfect opportunity to take a foothold and actually take the lead in the top 4 race in the Premier League after losing 3-0 to Fulham, we haven't taken it. We drew 1-1 with West Ham today. We were 1-0 down for a large majority of the game before Nicolo Zaniolo, the player who you probably least expect to come on and change a game for Villa, came on and scored off of a lovely Moussa Diaby assist. And not great apparently. You know, the game wasn't on TV, so I didn't catch the entire game. I caught glimpses and bits of it, as much as I could watch effectively. I don't know why this game wasn't on TV. That was a bit random, but I watched as much as I could, but not enough to give like an accurate representation of player ratings, etc, etc. So hopefully you guys can help me out down in the comments below. By the sounds of things, John Duran didn't play fantastically. I don't think Tielemans played, although he, good goal for the pre-assist. Apparently he didn't play all that well. Longley as well doesn't seem to have really impressed today. The same with Moreno, the same a bit with Morgan Rogers as well. But then Zaniolo comes on and scores, a player who we've all been writing off, including myself. So God knows what is going on with Villa at the moment. But again, it's points dropped. I see a lot of people on Twitter saying this is 1 point gained. Get out of here with that mentality, man. We're going for top 4. Drawing, away at West Ham is not the mentality of a team pushing for Champions League, especially when Tottenham lost yesterday. This is not 1 point gained, it's 2 points dropped. Am I happy that we at least got the point instead of just losing after they scored in the 96th minute that got ruled out for a handball, I believe? Yeah, obviously, at 1-1 in sort of like, or even at 1-0 down in the 78th minute, you probably think to yourself, we'll take a draw. But overall, in the overarching sort of theme of this season for Aston Villa, that's another 2 points dropped. It does mean that Tottenham will only go equal on points if they win their game in hand, that is, which I think is against Chelsea. Their goal difference is only 1 less than us now, so I think they'll probably win by 2 or more goals, maybe, I don't know. But it does mean that they can't automatically leap us, bar goal difference, if they do win their game in hand. So there's a silver lining to everything. We've both got really, really hard games going forward for the rest of the season, and it's going to be really, really interesting in general to see how we go from here. Thoughts on this game though? Again, 2 points dropped for me. We should have been going out there and imposing our will. We started Duran and Watkins, 2 strikers, and the first half stats, I don't think we even threatened their goal in the slightest. Yes, David Moyes plays with a low block, which Villa really, really struggle to break down. But, it's poor. Again, I think we're going to look back at this perhaps at the end of the season and think, if only we could have put our foot on the gas a little bit. I understand we've got the Europa Conference League to worry about, but, the main competition that you play in, 38 games, it's the Premier League. And when it comes down to crunch time, these Villa boys, it's almost like they're scared of going forward into the Champions League, because I saw a lot of comments in the first half about how the boys looked like they'd never played football before. They looked scared. They didn't look like they could be arsed. And I don't know whether that's just a mental thing that these boys are now thinking, God, we need to win these games to get into the Champions League, and their just legs are seizing up. It happens. We've seen it happen in other combat sports. We've seen it happen in other sort of actual sports, team sports, individual sports, tennis. It happened last year. One of the best tennis players probably of our generation at the moment, and his legs seized up when he played Djokovic. It does happen when the pressure's on, and I just hope that Emery can get into these players' heads and stop that, because it does seem like it's happening quite a lot now, and that's not good for a run-in at all. So if I chuck up the match stats here for you, you can see West Ham more shots than us, more shots on target, only 35% possession, less than half, well, pretty much half the amount of passes that Villa had, but only 157. When I'm usually chucking up these passing stats, both teams are in the near 400s. We only done 317 passes that game. A lot of sort of yellow. I don't know why it says 0 yellow cards there. There was 2 or 3. I don't know whether that's just gone wrong or whatever. There was a lot of yellow cards being brandished about. And again, 65% possession for Villa. But when we play a low block, we really, really struggle to break it down. There's 2 things that I feel like are Emery's kryptonite or Villa's kryptonite, whether we just don't have the players to play how Emery wants to play, or whether his tactics just don't work against it. But for me, whenever we play a team that has a low block and or a high press, we really, really, really do struggle. And to only create 5 shots and 2 on target over a 8-minute game from 65% possession is, for me, a massive worry. I feel like we do need to strengthen our attacking options next season. And it's just something to think about. I don't know what you guys think. Comment down below. I don't see how we can create so little from so much of the ball in over 90 minutes. It's a massive worry for me. And you know, when teams press us high as well, playing out the back the way we do against a high press, it's enough to take years off your life and inches off your hairline, let me tell you that for free. But we go into the other results of the Premier League this week. It was a bit of a weird week. A lot of games cancelled or postponed because of the FA Cup, which is obviously going on right now. Chelsea beat Newcastle 3-2. A pretty good result for us, really. We want Chelsea's confidence to go up. They beat Leicester today in the FA Cup. We want them to start winning games, because I'm 99% sure that Tottenham's game in hand is against Chelsea, so we need them to do something for us again. Hey, London club seem to be doing stuff for us, so fingers crossed. Luton somehow managed to throw away a 3-0 lead at Bournemouth and lose 4-3, and I think that could be one of the final nails in the coffin for their season in the Premier League, and I think they'll be back in the Championship next year. Again, Fulham beat Spurs 3-0, something that Aston Villa couldn't capitalise on with our 1-1 draw from West Ham, but it is another point away from Tottenham. And then Burnley beat Brentford. Good result for them. I still think they're going to go down, but it is what it is. And then Luton played again, drawing 1-1 with Nottingham Forest, so still just not able to get the win they need. In terms of the table, what does it mean? It means that we are obviously played one more game than Tottenham, and we're 3 points above and 1 goal difference above them as well. So it is starting to go a little bit better for Villa now. Like I say, we're not automatically going to go underneath them if they win their game in hand, but we are only going to be equal. We could have had the chance to be 5 points clear of them today. Obviously, Manchester United haven't played yet. They're playing in the FA Cup. I think that's 1-0 up against Liverpool. And then the teams above us, let's be honest, we shouldn't be looking at those teams above us. They're too far gone now. We're in our own little mini league. It's us, Tottenham, and Man United. Maybe West Ham to an extent, but probably not. But like I say, it's a mini league now. We need to start making the most of these opportunities. So what do I think overall about this game, and what does it say about Villa? We always struggle after our Thursday games. I think I saw a stat where we dropped the most amount of points after our Thursday games. Obviously, we have at least 2 more to go in the quarterfinals, perhaps another 2 more in the semis as well, and then obviously the final will be after the season ends. But something that we really need to address. McGinn is going to be a massive loss for us over the next 2 games. I think we can almost write off that City game without McGinn in the middle. Yuri Tielemans has been great for us this season when he's playing that split striker role. Playing him as a centre mid just doesn't work for me. He doesn't cover ground like that. He's not that great defensively, and I think it's just a bit of a mismatch in there, especially against, you know, the midfield that Manchester City have. The likes of Rodri is probably the best defensive midfielder in the world right now, and I think that we have to just not bottle it. We have to just go for it. Sorry, we've been bottling it a little bit. We have to go for it and start someone like Timo Rogbonam. I think Morgan Rogers is going to come good. He had flashes in the little bits of the game that I saw, but again, we are missing the likes of Jacob Ramsey being in the team. Injuries are always going to play a part. Diego Carlos, he would have been great to have today against Antonio. Like I said, that physicality, and what happens? Antonio ends up scoring a diving header, bringing back like the diving headers from like 2008. But look, in the end of the day, something in my mouth there, we got a point. It's not dropped, all 3 points. But we need to win these games. And the injuries, the suspensions, they will catch up with us. Hopefully Carlos is back soon. Hopefully JJ's back soon. We really, really, really need to start capitalising and winning games. What do you guys think about the West Ham game? Who was your player of the match? Comment down below if you did manage to watch the entire game. As always, I will be back very, very soon with more Villa-related content, and I'm going to be making a second channel, which I'll link in the description below, for more lifestyle and health and fitness if you are interested in that. But as always, up the Villa, be nice to everyone, and I'll see you guys soon for a special Villa video.